Wait for you to get to Savannah, Clementine. I got your parents right here. And you be sure to find me, whether Lee wants you to or not. Now, what I need...
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Throughout the game, The Walking Dead Telltale carefully builds tension between Lee, Clementine, and an unknown voice communicating through a walkie-talkie all throughout episode 5. While we know Clementine's parents are out of reach and dead basically, someone else has been taking a disturbing interest in her. Pause. But who is this nigga? And more importantly, why? Well, it's this man right here, the Stranger, who in my opinion is the most darkest villain in Telltale's The Walking Dead. You know, the Stranger's voice is unsettling, yet it's the quiet patience in his approach that leaves everyone on edge. You know, he doesn't, immediately attack, manipulate, or threaten like characters like Joan or the St. Johns. Instead, he buys his time, observing Lee's every fucking move. Like, it's this slow burn that makes the twist so chilling though. And then the reveal even made it even better storyline wise, because in the heart-pounding climax of the game, we learned that this man, this random weird dude that's talking to a walkie-talkie, talking to this little ass girl, turns out he's been following Lee and Clementine because of the choices we made. The big shock you may ask, he's not just some random antagonist, he's just a regular dude whose life was ruined by Lee's group. And, it's personal to him, and I wouldn't blame him. But god damn, that twist was so goddamn good, cause I would never ever expect for the last final villain to be the same nigga that we stole from. That shit was crazy. The revelation forces us to confront the consequences of our actions. From the moment Lee decided to take the food, whether you take it or not, he's still gonna be on your ass about it. If you take the food, he'll be like, you stole that food from us. But if you don't, he gonna be like, oh, you didn't, but your goddamn group did. Like, nigga, like you can't win, cause bro gonna keep on turning that shit around on you, and he did that shit so well too. Like, for the moment that, if Lee did decide to take the food from the stranger's car in episode 2, a ripple effect would be set in motion. A family was destroyed. That man's family was destroyed. And now that nigga behind that loss, man, that man is seeking revenge bad. And bro is a better man than me, cause that man was so patient with that shit too. That's what made that shit so weird. The amount of self-control that man had to actually plot and wait for this man at the right time to get their ass while they lacking, that shit was so fucking goddamn outrageous. That nigga is crazy. And don't even get me started what he had in his goddamn purse. What makes this twist so effective is how personal it feels. In most games, an antagonist shows up, does their villain thing, and then they just move on, or they die. But here, the Stranger is a direct product of your own decisions. Whether you stole from him or not, the game still creates an overwhelming sense of guilt, because the Stranger represents something larger, the moral weight of survival in a post-apocalyptic world. Bro fell victim to that shit so bad at the worst time too, because apparently his son died, but instead he just said his son got lost. And man, his wife did not like that shit. His wife and daughter left his ass and then come back to gain her trust. He could have gained her trust, but no, the shit from the goddamn RV or van, station wagon, whatever you want to call it, all that food was gone. Oh, imagine the pain that man felt. The Stranger isn't just some generic ass villain. He's broken, hurt, and desperate. That man lost feel real, man. And that's what hits so hard. We are used to making tough decisions in The Walking Dead, Telltale. But the Stranger's appearance forces us to realize that those choices have real human consequences for real. And let's not forget Clementine's role in this. The Stranger manipulates her innocence and trust, trying to convince her that Lee is the villain of the story. This is where the emotional goddamn state skyrocket. Clementine, who we spent the entire game protecting, is suddenly caught in the middle of this shit. Let's not, man, if it wasn't for this man, Lee would not have been bit. Clementine would have stayed her ass in the goddamn house, and they all would have went home scot-free. But now that motherfucker had other plans. In a game all about choices, the Stranger twist is the ultimate payoff. It's a reminder that in a world like The Walking Dead, Telltale, there are no truly good or bad decisions. Every action has consequences, and sometimes those consequences come back to haunt you. in the most unexpected ways. Man, I'm about to run out of stories. Let's get this shit over with quick. So why is the stranger the biggest plot twist in Telltale's The Walking Dead? Because it's not just a twist, it's like a reflection of like our own choices. It forces us to confront the idea that, you know, survival costs with sacrifice, and that in the end, every decision we make carries a goddamn cost. And this man's the definition of it.
All she gotta do is call.